then I will share Athena's message. I think that it was really interesting. So for most of last week, I was feeling a lot of that collective anxiety and some of that intense emotions going on within the collective. I think the anxiety of awaiting. I think that for most of last week. Right, sorry. Cool, so I've quieted myself. But yeah, so for a lot of last week, there was a lot of intensity awaiting the election results. And was it yesterday or Friday? I tuned in and I just felt this immediate relief. The sense of waiting was over and some of that anxiety shifted. So I thought it was a really good energetic shift, no matter what side of the political debate you are on. It's always nice to not have to wait and have that feeling of anticipation anymore. So I'm glad that the collective energy has shifted a little bit. I wanted to see what you guys are feeling. How are you feeling within your own worlds? Hey Jody, glad you're here. So whether you're in America or if you're in Europe, maybe dealing with some of the new COVID lockdowns, I just wanted to come in and support you a little bit. So if you have something that you want to share or anything that you would like guidance with Athena on, something that'll serve the collective, I'll read the comments after I share her message. So this week's guidance is really more about, instead of getting all of this information from outside of ourselves and kind of anticipating how we're going to react based on the external world, really tuning into ourselves and letting our higher self guide us in the direction and into the energies that will serve us moving forward, regardless of what the external looks like, because our internal ultimately will be reflected outward. So even in the things that we can't control, if we have that strong internal support system set up, if we have that strong internal connection to ourselves, we can weather the external concepts that we can't control a little bit better. So that will just really help with the navigating of emotions, some of the anxiety, any of those things that can come up in the next couple of months. So today's message, as always, I've pre-channeled that and I will read it to you now. So I'm going to ask Athena to actually step in and just give us that sense of her presence with us. I like to tune into my heart chakra to feel this. So if you choose to do that, you can invite her in with you now. So here's the message. Today, our message for the collective is one of moving forward with integrity. The time of pointing fingers at another's flaws is past. It is time to recognize that each person has the opportunity for growth, no matter the position or stature they may hold. Beware of those who take this opportunity to put others down in the wake of defeat, for the future of the collective is one that would rise together. In the spirit realm, there is no such concept as defeat. There is only that which brings you closer to yourself and your chosen path of purpose. Your true self is an extension of Source. You are an expression of this higher consciousness. You are always connected to this light within you. Your higher self is always present to guide and comfort you. Make room in your life to elevate the individual consciousness of your being by inviting in your higher self to lead and inspire you to the actions that are right for you. Practice following your intuition and learn the voice of your intuition. This will assist you in navigating the confusion that distracts that will be presenting to the collective in the coming months. Seek validation from the internal. Turn your gaze to that which serves your highest good and assists you in creating the better tomorrow. For those who seek clarification from external sources will be disappointed. The the consensus will continue to point you to explore your internal world. In light of recent events that will continue to ebb and flow in intensity, come together with those from which you seek support and offer stability within your personal support system. And that is their message for today. The support system that we might have had set up before COVID, I think a lot of people have seen that dissipate or just feel more strenuous because there's not that coming together. If you were in the work environment with people on a daily basis, maybe you have less interactions or whatever that looks like. So now is a really good opportunity to just take stock of what your support system looks like, both within yourself. How are you supporting yourself right now? And externally, do you have people you can call just to talk to? If you are really needing help with something, can you ask somebody to help you? So recognizing that these are things that we need to maintain, even if it's just with a handful of people or family that we are really close to, people that we can both offer support and ask for support. So I think that's really important right now as we are navigating this energy that, like I was saying, the collective energy has this little breath of relief, but I do feel a lot of that underlying current, almost questioning, is this real? Is this now the reality? Or what does the true reality look like? Because we are in that shift of 3D to 5D, or the really just the elevating of the consciousness of the collective of the planet. So this could be considered moving into the new earth. This could be moving into Christ consciousness, however you like to see it, but the timelines are shifting, the energy is shifting. And so I feel like more than ever, people are asking, well, what is the true reality? And ultimately, it's going to come down to your perception. So these are questions you really need to ask within yourself, and no matter what's being mirrored to you externally, building that support system within you so that you can navigate no matter what the external looks like. So you feel safe within your being. You feel confident that you can step forward and continue to show up as yourself, continue to express the light within you, and just continuing to offer support to those who might need it, or asking for support when you need it. Dorshane says, I feel like there's heavy dread, grief processing, and transmuting into new. Yeah. In the last couple of weeks, my personal guides have really been talking about transitions. And so a lot of that had to do with the election, because I am here within the States, and my personal world is influenced by that. But there's also just individual, like micro transitions happening. So within my world, within the collective, there's so much energy that is shifting and transmuting. So yeah, I would agree with that. There is this processing of grief, and a lot of it is from the old world. So these could be memories from past lives. Like, if you haven't come to the awareness yet, there is a lot of energies coming up from Atlantis and some of the events that happened around the fall of Atlantis. And so the way that Athena has actually showed this to me in the past is like a spiraled wheel, so like many circles. And as the timelines have converged and met, basically we are coming into a timeline parallel with that of the lost lands of Atlantis. Now, I'm not extremely familiar with Atlantis, but I do know that some of these similar feelings and emotions are now being purged, basically. So these are things that might be coming up from the earth to actually be purged, and so we might feel them within the collective. And I think also they're repeating within some of our politics. Like I said, I'm not sure what the politics of Atlantis were. I don't do a lot of channeling on that. But this is something that Athena has brought to my attention, and I've seen some other really wonderful channels that I trust talking about similar subjects. So I know that information is out there if that is something that you're curious about. But yeah, I would definitely say there's a lot of that transmutation, because ultimately we're all processing our shadows right now. Even the earth, I went to Gaia today and I asked her the message she wanted to share with the collective. And really, the message that she brought up was that we have the shadow so that we can recognize within us that we hold both destruction and creation, that Gaia holds both destruction and creation, and that without this death and rebirth, there isn't any new creation. There has to be that transmutation, that cycling of energy, so that we can purge it, so that we can renew it, that we can elevate it into what serves us now. Because if we try to hold on to what served us then, we're going to grow and change, and then it's going to be heavy. It's going to hold us back. It's going to deter us from moving in that forward direction. So there's a lot of shedding right now. And honestly, that can be really scary. If you, even if you are practiced in shedding and releasing energies, it can feel really intense, especially as so many people are stepping into new paths. I'd say a lot of careers, relationships, even like the physical housing of your life, a lot of these things are shifting right now. So recognizing that if you're in the midst of these big transitions, that this is all part of your elevation, your growth, your path of contributing to this collective energy, because we are all being asked to let go of the past within ourselves, within the collective, within our government. So these are all things that we're processing, and to process it all at once can be a lot. I almost feel like unfocused. I'm just like, where do I pay attention to? And it feels overwhelming. So something that I practice myself is to really ground myself, come back into my own reality, come back into my body, and then ask myself, what is the most important thing that I focus on right now in this moment? And it might be doing something for myself physically, so eating, resting, practicing something to elevate my mood. But this could be something spiritual too, so that you could bring in journaling, meditating. It could be taking action on some of the goals that you set, laying out the pathway to receive your goals and intentions. Dorshane says, I perceive reality as personally hooking into the Akashic and just living as you described within my own truth. Yeah, that's an interesting way to describe it. I have recently been learning more about the Akashic. So I'm very curious. I know very little, but it's so fascinating to me. So I actually have a reading this Wednesday for my own personal Akashic, so I'll share how that goes. I'm excited. Um, but yeah, that's something else I did want to touch on today. Athena has really been pressing upon me the importance of intention setting right now. That's something I typically do maybe once or twice a month, but I've been really called to do it every week and sometimes like every day, to just set like a small intention for my day. And she's just really been bringing in this importance of setting your intentions, because when you set these smaller intentions from that space of gratitude, from that space of desiring expansion, it just really culminates into this larger manifestation. So I just wanted to touch on that briefly. I know she mentioned it last week in her channeled message. And I think there's just a lot of manifesting energy. Like Dorshane was saying, we're letting go of a lot of these older energies, which opens up the space to bring in really awesome new ones. So while you're in this process, definitely ground your energy, release and shed some of those, cry, heal, whatever you need to do. But also recognize that setting intentions right now is powerful, that we can have both at the same time, that we don't have to completely destroy before we start to rebuild, that these can happen simultaneously. So we can take out small bits of these old energies and welcome in this new aligned energy. And so continuing to connect with your higher self is so important right now. Continuing to walk within this path of your purpose, even if you don't know what that is, just asking yourself, what steps right now serve my highest good? How can I take these steps that serve my highest purpose? Because even if you don't know what that looks like right now, the more you ask yourself these questions, the more the puzzle pieces are going to fit together, and you're going to have that greater understanding of why you're here, what you're meant to do. Love your expression of truth. Oh, thank you. Cool. So that's really, I think, a lot of what Athena wanted me to share today. I'm just going to ask her if she had any last messages that she wanted to give us. She wanted to bring in attention to sharing your own message of truth. So this is something that I've actually had to, I guess, deep dive and kind of understand on a deeper level for myself this week. But what is your message of truth? What is it that you want to share with the collective in a way that honors yourself, but also elevates each other? So just recognizing that your words have power. So are you using your words to lift up yourself, to lift up others? Or are you using your words to verify the reality that you see or tear down in any way? I think a lot of us have that negative self-talk habit that we don't often realize. So shifting that and not judging yourself or being harsh on yourself if you don't, like if you fall short, or, there's no such thing as defeat. So if you recognize that you're talking to yourself or others negatively, have compassion. That was from a really negative space, and I'm sorry. I'm going to shift into that energy of compassion. I'm going to recognize that I can move forward in a better direction. And then just offering yourself some of that compassion and grace, because things are a little confusing right now, but they are shifting and changing, and you are a big part of that shift and change, especially in your own reality. So you have the power to connect to your own truth, to connect to your own message, and to use your voice in a way that honors this really incredible shift that's happening on the planet right now. So if anyone has any questions, I am open to answering those. I actually changed my schedule around a little bit, something that felt really good to me. So I have a little bit of shift in my schedule. So I have openings for my one-to-one sessions. These are sessions where I'll channel directly for you. We can talk about anything happening in your current world. Maybe you have questions about what the coming months look like. If you are a business owner, maybe you have questions about what would serve your business best right now. We can go into any of that in a private session. Those are listed on my website. And I'm also accepting one-on-one coaching clients right now. So this is 8 weeks of us working together once a week, and I will send you an incredible care package. You'll get the energy healings, you'll get the journaling prompts and exercises for you to do. And these are all really tailored to you and your specific energy. So I'm not going to prescribe a one-size-fits-all energy, because that just doesn't work out. Each of us are unique expressions. So this is really fit to you and your needs. And I'm just really excited to bring forward some of this energy that Athena has been sharing with me and ways to support yourself moving forward into the new world. So if anyone has questions, you can always message me or find me on my Facebook page. All right, I will see you guys soon. Bye.